Okay, everybody, welcome to our early training for tonight. Cannot believe it's already almost the middle of August. Like, I don't know where the summer went, but we just returned from Dallas, Texas. So I'm super excited. The idea I'm going to share with you is not original. In fact, none of the ideas I'm going to share with you tonight are original. But what I will say is I feel like sometimes when we want to build a business, we say, well, I need more leads. Like we expect like customers to just like come from the skies or just fall in our lap or whatever. And what I'm going to tell you is if you were a caterer or you were an attorney or you were whatever, right? You're self-employed, get your own store, whatever, or your own office, you're going to need customers. We all need customers. Everybody who's in business needs customers. I don't care if you're a restaurant, if you're a whatever. So it's all in constantly self-marketing. So here's what I'm going to tell you. If you are constantly self-marketing, and I'm going to give you a couple really quick, simple ideas, it literally will make all the difference in the world for you. Okay. And so by that, I mean, you want to be just not, it's like, so picture this, you do a bridal fair. Let's say you did a bridal fair last week. So now you got 20 leads. And so you book those 20, and let's say out of the 20, you book 8, and out of those 8, 6 hold. So you've got 6 parties. But if you don't work full circle, meaning book them at least every person 3 times, and you don't mention getting their second appointment, or you don't share the career opportunity, you literally a month from now will be right back to where you were a month ago, going, when's the next bridal fair? When's the next thing? So what I'm going to share with you is that can be a frustrating place to be because you feel like you're on a high and then on a low, and then on a high and then on a low. You either have a ton of leads or you're like, I don't have any leads. So I'm going to give you a couple really, really basic, simple ideas, and I'm going to hold on one quick. Okay, so let's talk about a couple things that you guys can do. First of all, are you carrying in your purse a bag of samples? Now, my purse, unfortunately, is out in the kitchen, but in my purse is a black zipper mesh bag. You know the mesh bags that our trays and mirrors come in? One of those. So I took one of those, and I always have in there at least 8 samples with my business card and the directions on how to use the sample. So the little packets, they look like these. They either look like this. This happens to have charcoal mask, and because there's peppermint and charcoal mask, I put a peppermint candy in there. And there's a little instruction about my business cards in here. Then I ordered these cute little bags on Amazon. They have little eyelashes on them, so you could do something like that. They're super inexpensive. I get like, I don't know, they're less than a couple cents each. So I have those with me all the time. So when I was at Kaiser today and this beautiful Filipino nurse was talking to me, she was like, I love Mary Kay. And I said, oh, really? Do you use it right now? She goes, no, but I used it a lot, like 10 years ago. And I said, oh my goodness. I said, well, would it be okay if I gave you a free sample? She goes, I'd love a free sample. So I whip out my little mesh bag. Now in the mesh bag are not only these goodie bags, but there's extra business cards, extra blank business cards in case there's nothing to write with, like, you know, a slip or something, and a pen that works. And my magnetic name badge is in there. So if I'm ever out and about and I go, oh, I forgot my name badge, because I have 2 of them, I always put one in that zipper pouch. So I showed her the 2 samples I had. She happened to choose the moisture gel mask, and I gave it to her. And I says, oh my gosh, I'd love to get your opinion, but I said, I wish I had a catalog to give you. Could I text you a catalog? There's a new one that just came out. And she goes, oh, I'd love that. I said, great. Are you 925? She goes, no, I'm 707. And she rattled off her phone number. So I grabbed the slip out of the little black mesh bag and I wrote her phone number on there. Then I flipped it over once she left the room and I wrote, beautiful nurse, Kaiser, roughly how long her hair was, anything that's going to help me immediately remember who she is. All right, so this is perfect for you to have on you all the time. You could be out at dinner and meet a phenomenal waitress. You could be standing in line and someone strikes up a conversation with you, right? So you always want to have samples with you. That's one easy way. Another easy way is branding. So today when I went to Kaiser and I was out running around, I actually had this t-shirt on. Now, this is not a legal t-shirt, so I'm probably going to get in trouble even showing this. In fact, I'm probably not going to hold that up again. But something that says Mary Kay on the front of it, or I love my MK life, or Pink Cadillac Club, anything. So I don't want to put on there like lipsticks are my job or something like that, because they're going to go, I don't get it. But if I have either the word Mary Kay on them from MK Connections or something that's going to get someone to make a comment, all I want them to do is notice my shirt. Okay. Another great idea would be to take this tote. Now they have this, and again, I'm not promoting MK Connections. I don't want you guys spending hundreds and thousands of dollars on there, but this is great because what I do, this is an old lookbook. I need to actually change that out. What I often will do in here though, to grab people's attention, is I often will open it up to a page that has a model's face on it. I'll give you an example. Like I'll often open it up to something like this. And I might put this in the front page. So it already says Mary Kay in here. I want to get something that's like super obvious. So I might put something like this in here. And then what I usually do behind here is I put a whole bunch more of these. So if you don't have your mesh bag with you, you could put them tucked behind here. And then I literally use this as my purse. My wallet's in here, my car keys, whatever. I go to Costco, I literally throw this over my shoulder. Again, you want to be noticed, right? Another way is to, now these are this is an old bag, but you can tell how much I use this when I take this to the post office a couple times a week. But it says Mary Kay. It's so if you don't have one of these really big totes, talk to your director and say, how do I get one of those big lightweight totes? So those are all great ways. But let's also talk about a fun referral way. So here's what I'm going to have you guys do. You're going to grab 5 of your business cards. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are 5 business cards. Now I'm going to see a customer tomorrow at Makeovers for the model search thing. And she's already pre-ordered. She said, I'm out of my repair. Can you bring it? And I need the mini repair set too for travel. So she's already spent 38, 48. So she spent $250 already. So when I deliver all this to her tomorrow, I'm going to say to Katie, and I'm going to hand these to her. Now, these are my business cards, right? On the back, I'm writing down here $5 free. And I'm going to write the word Katie Payerchin on here because that's my customer's name. And I'm going to give these to her and I'm going to hold on to her hand. Now, you guys could do an experiment. You could do some with $10 on them, some with 5. You can do whatever you want. But here's my feeling is that you got to make it worth their while. If they're going $5, it's like, who cares about $5? But if they get $5 for each one of them, this represents $25 in free product. So this is what I'm going to say to Katie tomorrow. Say, Katie, here's what's really, really exciting. I am giving away gift certificates. And I want to not only give one to you, but some of your friends. So I've given you 5 of my business cards. So I'd love for you to put these in your wallet. This is literally what you say to her. Put these in your wallet. And over the next week or so, when you run into a girlfriend or you see your sister or your aunt's coming over to visit, you're at a baby shower and one of your girlfriends is there, you can say, oh my gosh, by the way, I have a gift certificate for you. This is my Mary Kay gal. She's amazing. Don't lose this because it's worth $5. And so here's the deal. I will give Katie's friend, let's say her name is Suzanne. I will give Suzanne $5 off her order, but I will also give Katie $5 off her order. Now, if you don't think you're motivated by $5, put $10 on there. Totally up to you. You can do whatever you want. You could also put on there, you could do something like 1 item 20% off or 1 item 25% off. Or whatever. But let's just say you did the easy, basic, simple method and you wrote $5 free on each one of these cards. You're going to write her name on here. So let's say Suzanne, Katie's friend, calls me. She goes, hi, my name is Suzanne. I want to order some Mary Kay product. A friend of mine gave me your card and I get $5 off. And I'd say, great, what name is on the back of the card? Because that's how I know who to give credit to. So if she says, well, it's Katie Payerchin, then I'll say, oh, great. So if Katie, and this is what I'm going to say to Katie when I see her tomorrow, Katie, if you have 5 of your girlfriends call and order anything from me, you get $25 of free product. 5, 10, 15, 20, $25. Katie will go, wow, that's like a free charcoal mask, you guys. Or that's like a free eye makeup remover with a little leftover. So that's a great deal, right? And so this is a simple, easy way to do it. Just take a nice black Sharpie. If your penmanship isn't good, slow down, print neatly. You can just put down there 5 free. And you could, if you wanted to, write compliments of Katie Payerchin, or you could write from, and you could write the person's name, but you're going to give these to your customer and say to her, I can only give you 5. And I'm really, really excited about giving these gift certificates away. And so you will get $5 of free product for every one of these gals that calls or books. So you have to decide if $5 sounds like enough to you, then go for it. Personally, what I'm going to do, because my goals this year are so outrageously huge that I'm going to actually put on a few of them $10. I think I might actually just put on there like 1 item 30% off. Now, or 1 item 25% off. So yes, you don't make as much profit, but if it gets them to purchase something, what do I care? So let's do this. So that would mean that if that happened, if I put on here 1 item at 25% off, that means if all 5 of these cards got used, I technically would need to give Katie 5 items at 25% off. You know what? I'm okay with that. I'm still making 25%, and I'm possibly getting Katie hooked on products that she's not currently using. So whether you want to do $5 free or you want to do a certain discount, I would be consistent and try something. Try something for a couple weeks, give 5 cards to your customer. Make sure your customer's name is on here and ask her to give them out to her friends and her family. Okay. It doesn't cost you anything but the card. That's it. Super simple, super basic. Okay. So you've got the idea of having little package, little giveaways. And so I do mine in color. So all the vitamin C are in these pink bags. All the charcoal masks are in black and white bags. So that if I am reaching in there, I don't want to have to open like I don't want to have to pull out 6 or 7 samples to figure out which one's charcoal mask. Does that make sense? All right. So I always have these with me. If I don't have a Mary Kay t-shirt on, I've got a tote with me. I've got a pin on me. I've got not all these pins, but like my name badge or whatever. But I have all of those. So again, you're constantly branding yourself. But keep in mind, there's only one of you. So if you can imagine, the advantage of these referral cards and the facial box that I'm going to show you in just a minute is to duplicate yourself. So let's say between now and next week, in the next 7 days, you meet with 5 customers and you give each one of these customers 5 of your business cards, right? That means you've got 25 gift certificates floating around out there. And all I know is that she happens to say, hey, and so you might coach her a little bit and say, hey, by the way, there's a lot of people out there in this world that have lost their Mary Kay girl. And so I just want to make sure that you're handing out my card so that people can take advantage of my great service and the discount and all that. Plus, I want to help you get as much free as possible. They'll help you, trust me. Okay, and the very last idea, of course, is facial boxes. Now, I just listened to a really good top $1 million director talk about facial boxes. And she put out a total, write this down, she put out a total of 30 in a period of 4 days. I'm going to give you a couple of really quick ideas. She put out 30 at the end of the 3 weeks, because she was doing a 3-week blitz, right? At the end of the 3 weeks, 5 boxes literally disappeared. Like she went in, the owner's like, oh yeah, what happened to that box you had in here? I have no idea. Don't know if there were leads in it or not, but the whole box disappeared. So out of her 30, 5 disappeared, which left her 25. A couple of them only had 1 or 2 names in there. Some had 8 or 9 leads, but she got a total of 136 or 137. I can't remember the exact number. 130 something leads over that 2.5-week period. Okay, I don't know about you guys, but I would be flipping excited if I had 130 new leads of people saying, please call me. All right. So if you go on my boards app, you will find these are on Amazon. These are like a wax. I don't know if you can see how shiny this is, but this is like a wax coated cardboard. And so you literally just take these. These are 6 by 6 by 6. And you just fold them. I'm just going to like sort of put one together super quick here for you so you can see. So this has got the top's got the slot already in it. It's got little fold down things in here. Okay. So we're going to just put these in here. You're going to want to attach registration slips. Now what I'm going to do is I'm putting out 30 as well. I'm putting out 24 in boxes. And then I'm going to do the last 6 picture frames that say text me, because I'm just curious. Certain locations, when the counter is really crowded or people are in there just to pick up food, they're not going to fill out a slip. I already know that. So they're going to be the ones that are more likely to do a text thing, especially if you have a really cute flyer and you even put it in the women's bathroom. That's what I'm going to do, is go into the women's restroom of certain restaurants and say, can I leave this in your bathroom? And it'll say text me to win. And you're going to have a QR code that they can go on your website, and you're going to have your phone number on there that they can text. So see how neatly this box folds? It folds perfectly. The bottom is super, super simple. These sides go in. Now, remember, you've heard me say this multiple times before. You can't put a box out. So this just folds super easy. Y'all see this? It's all done. Now, when you do these boxes, the one thing I will say to you is you want to make sure you have 2 slips in here already filled out. Okay. Because if somebody picks this up and they shake it like this and it's empty, no go. If there's 2 business cards in here and they can, oh, they're like, oh, people have entered, I'm going to enter. Okay. So, and so what I do is I punch a little hole right here on the side, and there's another video I made on how to do this. I don't want to spend time on that. But again, so here's the deal. Mary Kay always told us you want to have leads coming in from 4 to 5 sources. So maybe one source, if you're writing this down, maybe one source is booth events or little tables at a coffee place or pop-ups. Okay. Pop-ups are great. I have a friend of mine who rides a Harley, and she went to the Harley Davidson place and said, hey, what's your busiest day for foot traffic in the store? And they said Saturday. And she goes, great. Can I set up a tiny little table over here and just hand out free samples of sunscreen, since everybody on the bike is exposed to the sun. And they said, oh my God, absolutely. And she goes, okay, great. I'll even do a drawing and give some away. So she stood in the Harley Davidson showroom. This is in Texas for 4 hours. And she got over 20, I think she said 28 leads in just 4 hours. And these are people that stopped to talk to her and said, oh my God, I didn't know Mary Kay made mineral sunblock. She had a tube right there. She goes, yeah, if you want to put some on, help yourself. And she goes, I'm giving away a spa basket, as well as some other drawings. Would you like to register for a free facial? And so people literally fill out the slip, and that was what she did, which is great. Okay. Now on these, there's also a back that sticks up on here. And so you can use that to mount different things like register for a free facial, register for charcoal makeover, whatever you want to do. All right. But here's the deal. If you have a booth event, maybe 3 or 4 in a year, you don't need one every month, you guys, you really don't. And you have a minimum, I hate the word minimum, but a minimum of 15, let's go 13 minimum for Mary Kay's Lucky Number, 13 minimum out. Some are going to disappear. The advantage of these versus the MK Connections is the MK Connection boxes are, I think they're like $13 or $15 each. So if one disappears, it's like, yikes. These cost me like $1.10 each. One disappears, no big deal. Now I'm going to make sure I put my business card on the back. You make sure you put your offer on the front and on the back. Some people will literally look for your name on here because they want to call you because they are desperate for product. So imagine, you guys, you're wearing a t-shirt when you're out running around. You've got samples in your purse. So when people approach you, you're carrying a tote and you're doing maybe one booth event, maybe once a quarter. And then here's what's key. You're doing this where you're handing out 5 business cards for referrals. And then at your skincare classes, you're asking them to flip over their profile card or whatever sheet you want to use. And you're asking them for referrals. That will give you so much business, so much business. So this isn't difficult, and we can't get frustrated when we're like, I just need more leads. I need people to line up outside my front door and knock on my door and buy product. Well, okay, we all live in fantasy land because that's not going to happen. That's like opening a restaurant and saying, I'm not advertising. I'm not going to leave. I'm just going to wait for people to walk by that are hungry. Well, you're probably going to go out of business. Okay. So I'm just telling you, all of these things work. Don't rely on one, do them all. But what I would do is I would start by ordering some facial boxes. These are very inexpensive on Amazon. I would definitely put some packets together. Do not feel, because I know some of you that are perfectionists are going to sit here, hear this and say, well, I'll need to, this will take me a week to do. So it'll take me a week. You don't have a week. It's already August, whatever today is, the 13th or 14th. We don't have a week. You can order boxes on Amazon. They'll be here in 24 hours. In the meantime, find a tote, text your director and say, what do I need to do to win one of those lightweight totes? Okay, put a couple samples together in a little cello bag. You can get little Ziploc bags if you want to at the Dollar Tree if you have to. Something simple, something easy. And again, you can even order these on Amazon if you want. But this, you guys, is smart. This is just saying $5 free, and give credit to your customer. Because if your customers love the product and they love you, they're happy to refer clients to you. All right, so I hope you guys like these simple ideas. They really, really work.